Today is our last shot at planting the prairie this spring. If we miss our window, we'll be set back an entire growing season. Will we get the seeds in the ground in time? Stick around and find out as we plant Badgerton Prairie. We are planting out 17 acres of tallgrass prairie. We're using a highly diverse mix of plants, all hand-selected by the amazing ecologists at Adaptive Restoration. We wanted a seed mix with a really high biodiversity and originally requested they include at least 50 species. Well, last month, Adaptive surprised us with some amazing news. They were getting a bulk order for several clients, and so they were able to provide a mix with 110 different species of grasses and wildflowers, every one of them native to this region of Driftless, Wisconsin.
Diversity compounds. So I'm Dave Laufenberg. I'm a restoration ecologist with Adaptive Restoration out of Mount Horeb, Wisconsin. In nature, all things are connected. That's our Rachel Carson quote there. It's true, So if we can have more members of the plant kingdom represented, then we would anticipate having more members of the animal kingdom represented, the fungal kingdom represented. And that sort of thing just breeds resiliency.
In addition to Dave, who we've been working with for years, Planting Day was also a chance for us to finally meet Adaptive Restoration's seed specialist.
I'm Bryant Lumen. I work with Adaptive Restoration. I've been working here for about 12 years. In the past 8 or 9 years, I've been kind of the main seed guru. By the end of this spring, we'll be at close to 1,500 acres of prairie planted in the last 9 years. So wow. A lot of that was this year.
I asked Bryant to talk me through what we'd be planting that day.
Yeah, this is one of the more diverse seed mixes with over 100 species in it. And the reason for adding that much diversity, one, it covers sites like this on a hilltop where you have some north-facing, south-facing, east-west, and then some drainages that might be a little bit wetter, rocky hilltops that are drier. So you get species that can grow across the whole broad spectrum. And then having that many species also helps getting different flowers that'll be blooming early in the spring, midsummer, and then even into early fall, so that pollinators have floral resources and nectar to go throughout the season.
And so what's the mix of grasses versus forbs or wildflowers?
So this one I believe is pretty high on forbs and a little bit lighter on grasses and sedges.
Okay.
We usually do about 75% forbs and 25% grasses. And we go really light on the tall warm season grasses like big blue stem and Indian grass nowadays, because back in the 90s we learned that if you just plant a bunch of those, it's going to turn into a grass field instead of a prairie.
Can you talk to me about this machine a little bit?
So yeah, this is a 2X no-till seed drill. There's 3 separate bins. The front bin, the small seed bin. Middle is for the grasses or fluffy seed. The back is the grain bin. So that'll be all the small seed there.
Okay, cool.
And that's usually the more expensive stuff.
Yeah, that's the gold.
There's the fluffy, and I mixed this one with some wood shaving because it turned out to be a little dense.
Okay.
This bin has a certain minimum calibration.
Okay.
And we've been planting a similar mix at other sites.
Okay, so you've got it dialed in.
We know that it would definitely go out too fast without the wood shaving built in to kind of fluff it up. And then if you look down here, the front disc is what cuts into the soil. These middle discs spread open, and the tubes pop down into here to drop the soil, or the seed in between here, and then these just kind of roll over it at the end.
While it is so satisfying to get these seeds in the ground, there was a lot of work that went into getting the field ready.
For this hilltop prairie, we went with, a full disturbance, disturb the land, and hit the reset button in order to get a really high quality biodiverse habitat just within the next couple of years.
When Dave says a full disturbance, he is not kidding. I'd actually consider that a pretty mild term for all that we did to this ridgetop. When we first purchased the land a couple of years ago, the field was dotted with invasive bush honeysuckle. So the first thing we did was work with Adaptive to remove all the woody brush, leaving just a couple of native crabapples in the field. Then last spring, we did a controlled burn of the whole field. This was necessary to remove the thick thatch that had built up on the field over the years. If we had just killed off the plants, they would have formed a thick mat that would have prevented the seeds from making contact with the ground. Now, I have to admit, burn day was so much fun. Jake and I are both burn crew certified, and the professionals from Adaptive were so sweet about letting us join in and help out their professional crew that day. They were in and out in about 90 minutes. I could not believe how smooth and fast the whole thing went. Then, throughout the rest of the summer, we did several rounds of herbicide spraying. Now, we had hoped to avoid chemical treatments, and we really went back and forth on this approach. But ultimately, it was a requirement of our funding. So Adaptive assured us that this process was well proven for a restoration project at this scale, and that the high level of disturbance ultimately is what was going to give us the best chance at reestablishing a high quality native prairie.
There's so much elasticity to our system here in southern Wisconsin. We have soil. One of my old board members out in Montana, she gave me a hard time on the phone more recently because she was like, "Oh man, Dave, you guys are cheating in Wisconsin. You guys have soil." It's so bony out west, and with soil, it's like this sponge that can like hold water and give water to vegetation and to the system, and so it can recover really quickly, and we can get a lot of species in here really quickly.
Even with all the prep we'd done, there was no guarantee that everything would run smoothly. Due to some scheduling conflicts and a popped tractor tire on a previous job, our site was the last on their spring planting list, and it ended up being on the very last day of June, which meant if we didn't get all of the seeds in today, we could lose our funding. My heart about stopped when I saw Bryant with the tractor hood open around noon, but he was actually able to get things running again pretty quickly and back on the field planting the seeds. Which gave Dave and I a chance to chat a bit more about the project as a whole and how it fits into some of the larger dreams we both share around the future of ecology in Wisconsin.
How do we bring more nature into our farmscape?
Yeah.
How do we both raise really high quality food and really high quality nature in tandem to benefit both people and species beyond humans? Yeah. So the more people putting time into that and being in very good faith, like working towards that stuff and supporting it and exposing other people too that come and visit and guess, like we need that. So that's really exciting, Katie.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
All right, folks, I'm filming this one from the inside of my air-conditioned cab because it is 91 degrees on the Badgerton Prairie today. Bryant is making a final round around to deposit the last of the seeds that are left in the hopper. As soon as he pulls up, we'll check in with him one last time. All right, so how did today go?
Good. Yeah, some minor tractor issue when it was in a certain gear. A little bit slower, but it's also kind of bumpy ground, so slower speed. It's actually probably a little bit for the better. Need for a chiropractor appointment afterwards. So.
Well, we did it, folks. 135 pounds of prairie seed have been planted here at Badgerton. 17 acres of native Wisconsin prairie coming up in just a couple of 2-3 weeks will be sprouting up. It has been a long scorcher of a day, but the crew was amazing. The guys from Adaptive, Dave, Bryant, and the whole crew have just been awesome. We will bring you back the next time we are here so you can follow along as we grow Badgerton Prairie.